YouTube, what's going on? My name's Corporate Serf, coming at you guys today for the first time with a webcam. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from my normal style. I usually do PowerPoint presentations, but today's video is a conversation. So I've got myself a little cup of coffee, we've got KovaaK's open, and we're going to be talking about how spending $10 on KovaaK's could change your life. So this is going to be a long conversation and a lot of talking. If you're only interested in how KovaaK's can make you better at video games, I'm going to put a timestamp so you guys can skip right to exactly where I start giving you guys a method. But for everyone else interested in hearing the background of what I'm going to say, I'm going to start with how KovaaK's personally changed my life. So with my story, I've always been interested in video games. I've been a console player for most of my life. I've always been decent at games, but I've never been a top level player. Things got really hard for me in college though because I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, not cancerous or anything like that, but it was in a spot where they couldn't operate on it, and so thankfully I'm able to take a medicine that helps the tumor itself shrink, but I still have the effects of the tumor all this time later because I was diagnosed in college. But I'm also dealing with the effects of the medication that treats the tumor. I'm on a dose that's 7.5 times more than when I started, and there's a lot of downsides that come with it. Speaking of college, I dropped out. I've had to scramble, figure out how to scrape by financially, but also with that whole field is interesting. And then also, I'm an older guy at this point. I'm pushing my 30s, believe it or not. So all these things come together, and I have, I think, a pretty decent list of excuses to say, yeah, I can't be good at video games. I'm not going to be good at anything. And for a long time, those thoughts kind of stuck in my head, like, you can try. It's fun to try, but I'm not going to get anywhere. Well, I want you to look here at the screen behind me. That is my name at the top of 20,000 players for VT Snake Track Intermediate. I have the highest score on this leaderboard, and it's a smoothness scenario. And so basically, I found my niche. How the $10 I spent on KovaaK's changed my life personally was I found what I was good at. I'm now at the top of my field for what I care about, which is smooth aim and mouse control. I'm Celestial rank for Voltaic's precise tracking, and I've joined a Team Revosect for my aim and for content creation and everything else. But just recently, this past month, I've been able to advise a pro Apex player, ALGS Apex player, about mouse control and getting his aim more smooth. I don't think I'm allowed to say who it is, and we didn't work for that many sessions. It was just, a couple of 30-minute sessions. But these opportunities, they came to me because I was willing to work hard on KovaaK's. I'm also super thankful for the community that aim training has. So on Twitter, you guys might have seen the Battlefield 6 Riley CS situation, and a lot of people were talking about how the aim community doesn't exist. Well, if you just look at Voltaic with their Discord alone, there's 160,000 members, but there's tons and tons of other Twitter communities, Discord communities, Reddit communities. I mean, there is an AIM community, and I've met some of my best friends through AIM training. So that's my pitch for why KovaaK's helped me, but let me talk to you guys about some other players that KovaaK's I know helped them. Let's start from the top here. AIM trainers work. You have to know what you want from the AIM trainer, but you can absolutely use the AIM trainer to help you hit your goal. I'm going to talk about somebody named Rioli Style for a couple of minutes here. Rioli Style is the highest ranked Soldier 76 on Overwatch. He's Champion 3. He's basically the most mechanically skilled player that I know of that plays Soldier 76. Now, Rioli plays really fast sensitivity, which is interesting because on Soldier 76 you would think, you need smooth aim, right? You're going to be tracking from medium to long range distances. Like, you would think that someone would use a slower sensitivity. No, that's not the case at all for Rioli. Rioli plays 1600 DPI from 2.5 to 3.5, which is like 34 CM 360 to like up to 24 CM 360. Playing at such a high sensitivity helps Rioli express his skill at the purest extent. So when I had the privilege of talking to Rioli on stream, and we were talking about KovaaK's, he said he plays KovaaK's and he's basically top level. He wasn't joking either. He is number 5 on this leaderboard at 24 CM 360, which is that fast sensitivity that I was talking about, when other people are playing at 36, 44. Ricky's at 27 there, but 40. I mean, you can see that he's pretty significantly faster on his sensitivity than those other top scorers. But when I was talking to him about playing smooth scenarios or precise tracking scenarios, which is what I'm good at, like snake track, he basically said no, he doesn't play those at all. I hope it's cool that I'm showing this, but this was what his playlist was on stream, but it's all reactive tracking. So if Rioli knows that he's better on Soldier 76 at a fast sensitivity and he sees the most benefit from reactive tracking, then a playlist like this is huge for Rioli. Like literally every one of these scenarios, he's at least top 10. I haven't checked every single one, but the ones that I've checked, like through the first 15, he's in the top 10. But then the same is true if you look at other great aimers like Sestroid or Draco. These players that are insanely good at their games of choice are also amazing at the aim trainer. They use the aim trainer to get to the level that they want to for their game, and then going back again to Rioli. I hope I'm saying Rioli's name right, because if I haven't, that's going to be pretty embarrassing. But he said he doesn't really play aim trainers as much as he used to. So the idea is know what you want out of the aim trainer and play to a level that you're happy with, and then play your game of choice. So the aim trainer is a tool. The aim trainer works if you know what you're playing it for, but how do we get started? What are the ways that me personally or others can improve? So in the final segment of the video, this is the part that you guys would have skipped to if you used the timestamp. I'm going to show you the way to improve. So I'm going to pull up from my other monitor here. We have a video from LG56, Low Gravity 56, and it's called The Last Aim Routine You'll Ever Need. This VDIM method basically goes through and it has 5 levels of difficulty. So if you're entry, you just started, or you're an elite level player that still is trying to get better, there's 5 levels of difficulty across the different categories that you can train. So tracking, and then there's clicking. And so I've made another video about this topic. So then here's my video about it. And what I recommended is starting from tracking and then going to switching and then going to clicking. And even within the subcategories, focusing on precise first, then control, reactive. A lot of people have told me that this method has helped them. This mindset for training has helped them. So if you haven't heard of this, I recommend that you check it out. It's from me, so of course I'm going to recommend it. But this is really helpful, and this is the mindset that I think will help you progress and see actual foundations being built upon. So then going back to the VDIM thing, if we are going to follow that path, there's a very specific order that we can do these VDIM tasks. So here we are in KovaaK's, and the example that I'm going to give for you is VDIM Elite Tracking, because that's where I am for my skill set. For this year, I'm trying to get better at Raw Control Advanced, and so there's a list of tasks that are going to help me get better at Raw Control. But what I want you to do, and I think the mindset that you should have, is for each of these tasks, you take them one at a time, and that can be up to 1 day at a time, up to 1 week at a time, or an hour at a time if you're fast with it. But you should set goals that you have for yourself, like through this percentile. So for me as a top level tracking player, my goal is to also hit the top percentile and progress accordingly. For me, I'm not ready to move on from a task unless I've hit like 80, 85 percentile. So you can see on a lot of these, I'm like 95 percentile. Okay, but that's easier said than done. What if I say I want to be top 60 percentile, but then I can't hit it for this certain task? Then I'm just stuck on this forever? Well, this is where the $10 for KovaaK's is very helpful, because for each of these tasks that you struggle with, you can make individual variants that target different things that you might be struggling with. This is actually right here the format that I would recommend for all of tracking. The first one needs a little bit of explanation, so we'll go into that, but starting at the second one, these two here, the smaller, this is going to target your precision and help you make adjustments better. The way I like to do this is 40% smaller and 20% smaller. Then here, 4 and 5, I have 2 variants that are larger. They're only marginally larger because if it gets too large, then it's just too easy. We want to keep a reasonable level of challenge. So I'm going to explain what this slow-mo is while also explaining how you can make these variants. So what you do is on the online scenarios tab, you search, and I'm going to take away my webcam really quick. Give me 1 second. So in the online scenarios tab, you just search the keywords cat per elite, and it was the per track one. So then I download it, go to local scenarios, do the same thing, cat per, and then here's my elite. So this slow-mo one, I use this for micro adjustments with my tracking, and I'll show you how I make it. But here in challenge, I affect the timescale. I reduce the timescale by 40%. And so what that does is it changes the movement qualities, so the speed, acceleration, all this stuff. The scale at which the bot is moving throughout the map is decreased. But additionally, I will also affect the run speed by 40%. So this as well is 0.6 of what the previous value was. I also want to show you the original values of this scenario. So this one here, this is the main one. Nothing was affected at all. The speed was 2530. What I did was I took 60% of that speed as well. So this one here that is slow-mo has 60% timescale, but then also for the run speed itself, nothing else, just the run speed, I made it. The trade-off for that, when we go to boxes, which shows the proportions or the size of the bot, I made it 60% smaller. So it is operating at 40% of its original size. So then when we go to play it, we click challenge or go to your playlist, you click play, and then as it starts to move, you can see it's tiny. So what you can do is I recommend changing your crosshair size so you can actually see the crosshair within the bot, and you focus on your micro adjustment. I will tell you as well, playing these VDIM scenarios, a lot of times I will play them only 5 times or 10 minutes, whichever comes first. So if I'm playing for 11 minutes and I've only got 4 runs, then I'll just stop what I'm doing and go to the next one. But I'll play each of them 5 times or 10 minutes because, resetting's a thing. And then I'll go to the next one. And if after the 5 minutes I haven't hit that percentile score that I was talking about down here, like if I'm not at that 80-85 percentile, for me it's getting even higher as I try to push myself more, then we're going to make those variants. And I'll spend, 5 to 10 minutes on each of these, this slow-mo, playing it 5 times or 10 minutes and go through. If you do that for an hour every day, you're going to be incredibly skilled. You're going to have those fundamentals. So that was a lot of information, but we're at the end of the video and we're going to summarize for you real quick. The first thing is know what you want to train for. What game, what skills, what's most important to you. The second is kind of looking at this video, which is from me again, the Aim Trainer Pro thing. I'm going to put it in the description below. But getting to an overall skill level where you think that initial goal is possible. For me, I set the challenge a little bit high on this video at Master, but my opinion is not everything. And if you think that you can set your goals according to what is necessary for what you're playing, then go for it. But then as I talk about in this video here, you have a lot of choices after you reach that level. Regardless of where your goals are going to take you, I think that you can use KovaaK's, use VDIM, use variants, all to help you get there. For me, KovaaK's is my game of choice. I am this aim trainer main path and the subcategory specialist. I love tracking smoothness. All I play is KovaaK's and old Call of Duties for the nostalgia. But maybe some of you guys out there want to be a professional gamer. Maybe some of you guys out there want to join aim teams and have amazing clip dumps and montages, and you want to be a content creator or be a streamer. KovaaK's is a tool to help you get there. In 2025, there are so many unique paths to success, but having a strong foundation, having fundamentals that you can fall back on is pivotal. So I hope you guys take into consideration what I've been talking about today. Using VDIM for those fundamentals, using the variants to help you when you're stuck. I know some of this may be confusing, but even if at an absolute minimum, you only play one of these categories, and you say, I'm going to be like Rioli, and I'm only going to play reactive tracking, it's still going to help you. You literally can't say the aim trainer didn't help Rioli because he's top level in the aim trainer for reactive tracking, and he's also top level on Overwatch Soldier 76. So the evidence is there that it works. It's just your mindset, your willingness to push yourself. Anyway, I know all of that was a lot to take in, but I really appreciate you guys watching and sticking to the end of this video. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will try to get around to helping you guys all with that. Thank you all so much for the support on the channel. And yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.